Hello, new video today. We're going to take a look at an interesting team here. We're going to have a team here around the XL Lucario. This is a Pokemon that I actually kind of want to build as well, not for the reasons you might think. I kind of want to make like a Cynthia showcase, basically, you know, like my trainer series there, but I don't have really the starters right now. I also need some more XL candy for this Pokemon, but I also would have a hundo laying around, so it's very cool to take a look at this Pokemon right now. Has some potential for sure. Actually, I wonder why you didn't go into Lucario here right now, but you're going to be able to farm all the way down there. Okay, the opponent just forfeits anyway, and that's going to be a first good game. And to the next game here, we're going to see the opponent here, Dragonite against Everluck, are going to be a pretty decent matchup for you with your backline at least, because your backline going to be both really strong against this Pokemon. Getting in now the Garchomp, you try to bait them here, but they might not, yeah, they're most likely going to no shield there as well. It's going to be a Phantom only, but you might be able to get a shield advantage here right now, as you can resist the fast move of the opponent. This is a cool thing about the Lucario. The typing itself is very strong, and you're going to be even able to knock them out. Realign your Pokemon. You can go into your Metagross right now, and this Metagross will have a great time here. The opponent even forfeiting here as well again. Losing switch there against the Lucario was really nice for you, as the opponent really wanted to keep the switch advantage there and was not able to do that. Next game coming up here, we're going to see the Dragonite against Garchomp. Garchomp going to be a pretty decent one for you in the lead here. It's going to be Dragon Tail, which is not as ideal, but you're still going to be able to go ahead and go for one Dragon Claw yourself. This will get the shield from the opponent. You can let this move go through, and you're going to let this move go through. And I would swap out now as well, but you're going to stay in here. Actually, I don't know if you get to another move. Yeah, you wouldn't get to another move. That's why I would have swapped out here. Now this is going to be another Sand Tomb, so you're going to be fine. You can swap eventually as well again. Let's see what they're going to do here. You can farm them all the way down now in time. We will most likely see something like Gyarados in the back. I would... maybe not like even Gyarados, it's a Dragonite in the back. Yeah, Gyarados doesn't make too much sense. Dragonite also doesn't make sense. What does the opponent do here against a single fairy type? I am not sure. But I think the opponent also doesn't know it. Very good no shield here. You will be able to go for the knockout now. I don't think they're going to shield this move up. And we see that you can now align your Metagross against the Lucario, and they're going to forfeit. Everybody's forfeiting. I want to see the Lucario throwing some Shadow Balls. Like, why is everybody like forfeiting here? I kind of want to see some cool stuff, and they're all going to forfeit before that. It's kind of sad, not gonna lie. Next opponent, that's going to be an awkward one, unless it's a Waterfall. It's a Dragon Breath. So the matchup is pretty neutral, not gonna lie. But you don't going to be able to go for one Dragon Claw. It's still going to be a little bit of a trickier one in general, because they have Crunch now. They would hurt you a lot with that, and I think they win the Zero Shields, especially with the defense drop. Actually, you're still going to get to another move, which is really nice for you. This will allow you to align your Pokemon, which also allows you now to get the Lucario onto the opponent's Metagross and the Metagross onto the Dragonite, which is very good for you right now. Very good alignment for you at this point of time. It's still going to be a little bit of a closer one, but they're actually going to let the move go through, which helps you out a ton. I think in like the two-shit scenario, this would have been a tricky one, but like this, you can farm them down, I guess. You're going to just keep everything for the Lucario. I actually gonna go ahead and just go for Power Punch the entire time now, just try to... Why is everybody quitting out? I just want to see how like matchups go, because they all still can be kind of close, but they're all always quitting out before I can even actually take a look at the Lucario. I find that kind of annoying, but let's go into the next game here. We're going to face off against a Gyarados, which is going to have a Dragon Breath as well, which going to be an awkward matchup again, as you saw already before. This is going to be an interesting one. Just barely won this before in the Zero Shields here, and I guess you're going to try to play out the Zero Shields in general as well. Crunch coming through again, the defense drop, but we see that this IVs here going to be enough to get to another charge move. Gonna get the damage on the opponent. You can take this move here, I guess. Maybe you could have also, I guess maybe you know that they don't, they definitely get to the Crunch. I don't know why they don't throw the Crunch here. But you have some energy, we have a Dragonite coming in. This is all looking pretty decent for you, as you will be able to hit this move here. They're going to let this move go through, of course. And they have to throw a charge move here, which you could let this move go through, not gonna lie. It's going to be a superpower. I'm fine with that though. Let's see what they have in the back. Another Metagross in the back here. This is kind of similar to what we saw before, but they're going to stay in this time around. Maybe we can see some Shadow Ball action this time around. Let's see. Or do we see some bait with the Power Punch? We see the Shadow Ball action here. Do they let this move go through? They do let this move go through, and this is basically a good game now. And they're going to get KO'd by the counter. Counter is actually an interesting one, because counter even hurts them there. Even if like it's resisted as well. counter such a strong fast move, it just hurts no matter where you're going to have it. Let's see in the next match up here, we're going to see the Dragonite in the lead. That's going to be a neutral one, of course. You actually, do you have a Hundo here and the opponent has a best buddy and a little bit lower? I actually don't know, like, you don't have the same CP there, which is interesting. You have a little bit of a lower one, but I think you said in the text at least you had a Hundo. Yeah, you said that you had a Hundo, so I don't know if the opponent was best buddy, it just didn't show the best buddy ribbon and had like lower 8 IV in general. A weird one. Let's see here, the opponent going to go for a Meteor Mash. I will be able to go for one Shadow Ball there, as the Shadow Ball going to most likely knock them out. Yeah, it's going to knock them out. And we see the Dragonite coming back in here. You could actually shield this move up, but you're going to opt to not do that, which is most likely the better play, as you can farm them down with your own Metagross. They are locked into this matchup, they cannot swap out yet. And now you have a ton of energy against the Excadrill coming in here. That's going to be a tough one though. You're going to go straight for the Earthquake, which is going to get shielded here, and I think you lose that because of that. I think you had to bait there. There are two moves now, and yeah, you had to bait there to win this game. You're gonna go for the Meteor Mash, which literally doesn't do anything here. Either try to go for the Earthquake there or don't go for that one, but yeah, you definitely had to bait there. Baiting was the only way to win this game for the next time. Like, yeah, of course, they could have no-shield that one. Like, it's as a 50-50 or whatever, but usually they're going to shield because they have a way better scenario for themselves. They don't know if you have enough energy to even get to 2 moves, and they just outspeed you so much that for them, it doesn't really matter if they shield or not. So, like, they're going to most likely shield on the first one there. Was a pretty obvious one, so rather bait in those scenarios, because like it's a very close match already, and like you need to get all the advantages that you have, and if you don't have them, you usually have a worse point there. As we see the Gyarados again, Gyarados the most common Pokemon in this meta right now. We will be able to go for one Dragon Claw here as well, which is going to get come through there. You're going to be able to actually have such a good matchup against Gyarados. I thought it was way worse because they have Dragon Breath as well, but you always get like the shield advantage and get them very low. We see the Excadrill coming back in here. You should have stopped out immediately, in my opinion. I don't know why you're staying in here. This just gives the opponent free energy, because you're going to overfarm now, which is a little bit of a wild play. I guess you can try to go for 2 shield flex and then just try to go for the Earthquake here, or like 2 shields against the Excadrill. That would work out, I guess, but we will see here that the Earthquake coming through, you're going to be able to knock them out. But now you're shieldless, and I think like if you powered up maybe your other Pokemon there, it would have been better, but we also see the Fairy type coming in. But I think, yeah, in general, if you went straight into your Lucario, I think you had a way better matchup here. Doesn't matter though, because in this case, you were lucky that there was a Charm in the back, allowing you to sweep the opponent here. As we see the next opponent coming through. Going to be another Dragonite in the lead, which is interesting as well. Dragonite is something that you face a lot of times right now, of course, as this is going to be a very neutral matchup. The thing is, actually, if you play out this matchup here, which you don't, there would be a 50-50 chance if you win this matchup or not. Right now, at least, in the standpoint that I had before, is that there is still the bug available right now, which is if you have basically 2 Dragon Breath users or like 1 turn users, even if you have the same EVs and you go do exactly the same stuff, at the end of the day, it's a 50-50 who wins there. For whatever reason, it's still bugged, and like the 1 turn fast moves are broken for the tie at the end. So like, even though you have the exact same stats, either of them like have a 50% chance of winning this matchup instead of it's being a draw and like both of the players' Pokemon going down at the same time, which is a very weird one right now, but as far as I know, it's still a thing till this day. We see the Snorlax going down here. You're going to see the Metagross coming in. You're going to go for the bait against the Dragonite. You can get the energy back, I guess, which is nice, as you will be able to farm them all the way down here. You have a ton of energy. Let's see what you're going to do. You're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. This might be the play to go here. Let's see. We're going to see the shield coming up though, and you're going to try to catch the move. I don't know, like everything that I see here kind of seems not really the way that you're supposed to play this. Either try to go for the Earthquake there and let the opponent throw their charge move first, so you can go for the Shadow Ball there with the Lucario, or you just stay in with the Lucario and try to get rid of their energy and try then to sweep endgame with the Metagross. So like, this was basically the worst possible play that he could have done, like just being honest there. Just like either try to force the opponent to throw the charge move and go for the Earthquake and with your Metagross, or try to stay in and go for the Shadow Ball again, also forcing them to go for another charge move that you can go ahead and then throw your own charge move again afterwards with the Metagross then if your Lucario goes down. But like this, that was not really the best play. Lucario's going to go down here. We see the Gyarados coming in with the Waterfall, which is at least way better for you. A lot of them run Outrage here, which is an interesting one, but they're going to run Crunch this time around, which is way better for you, of course. I got Outraged a ton of times with against the Gyarados there, so I would be always a little bit more careful about this one, but it's definitely something that you have to be a little bit mindful of. We will see here the superpower coming through from the Dragonite, going to be able to get shielded, and we see the Mamoswine now having to battle against this Metagross, purified Metagross, as we see that you can go ahead and go for some damage here with the Media Mesh. And this one going to most likely do some pretty decent damage here, exactly as you can go ahead and maybe farm all the way down. They're going to go straight for the superpower, which is a little bit rare, but you should be able to farm all the way down. They're going to forfeit anyway, and that's going to be a good game. Next opponent here, we're going to see that you're going to be able to go ahead and go for the Dragonite against Magnezone. This is going to be an interesting matchup here, as we will see that you can go ahead and go for some superpower. Superpower going to do a lot of damage against them, but you're going to have to take one charge move first. And this one they're going to swap out actually into a water type. I didn't see which water type it was. Also the Gyarados again with the fast move Waterfall, which is amazing for you as you can resist the fast move here. Going straight for the Dragon Claw, going to be able to get them low, and you can farm them all the way down, you thought, but you actually can get to another charge move in time. Awkward Tail doesn't knock you out, and you can realign, which is always kind of cool, because now you can get the Lucario onto the Magnezone. Let's take a look on how this is going to end up here. Wild Charge coming through, they're going to have to swap out eventually, or they're just gonna go down in general, and we see a Dragonite coming in. You're boosted up right now. I would also bait here, because the opponent is on his last Pokemon. They kind of want to get still some energy here or some health there. You can take one Dragon Claw, it's perfectly fine to no shield here. Okay, you still should be fine here, like, don't get me wrong, you still should be fine. But if you think about it, okay, this was also just a level 40 Dragonite there, by the way. If you think about it, the opponent doesn't knock you out with Dragon Claw, you still would get to your charge move, you can swap out later. What if they go for the superpower, they debuff themselves, you still have a way better matchup than with the Metagross later, and there's no way for them to win. So shielding there was basically, again, like a play that you shouldn't have done there, which could really hurt you later on. As this player is not legend yet, I'm just going to say what stuff they could do better, for example, in the future, because this is something that helps way more than just shoutcasting here, as we're going to see that they're going to shield up twice against this Excadrill. I like this play. Excadrill is a hard answer for a lot of Pokemon in this matter, so like farming it down is fine. We see the opponent coming in now into their Garchomp. Power Punch coming through. Baiting here is, I guess, also fine, because they know that they have a lot of energy and you can go for the Shadow Ball, but sadly they still get to the next charge move in time, which will knock you out here. You can go ahead and go into your Dragonite and farm them down, as we see Metagross coming in. You have to go for Media Mesh here. Please go for Media Mesh. Please go for Medium. Oh, actually, maybe because it's level 40 you survive it, otherwise you don't survive it. I think it's, yeah, okay, but you still don't go for the charge move. You had to go for the Media Mesh there, as said before. Against the 40 version, you nearly actually survived it there, but like this, you're going to lose the game again. If you went for Media Mesh, the opponent was low enough that you would be able to go for the farm down even more slightly. But yeah, like this, there was no way again there. Going for the Media Mesh immediately. If you have an energy disadvantage there against the same Pokemon, of course they're going to go straight for the Earthquake there. So like you have to try to get some damage out of there, which was not ideal. On how you played it at least. We will see here the Excadrill on the lead. You can stay in here, you can take one charge move first, which is going to be the Rock Slide. Taking this move is the right call here as well, as you can go ahead and go for one superpower now to force the knockout, or you're going to go for the Dragon Claw. If it's a risky play, it works out this time around. If you think about it, like the difference between superpower and Dragon Claw is not the biggest in terms of energy, it's 5 difference in there. So like going for Dragon Claw as a bait doesn't really provide you too much extra. I mean, sometimes it helps, so it's not a bad decision here, especially as you got both shields now. You will be able to put them into range where you can farm all the way down even before they get to a charge move, which is really nice. The boss literally just perfectly KO'd. And we see a Fairy in the back, and we see a Gyarados in the back with the Waterfall there. Which is interesting, because now it's going to be a very wild one to win. You're going to let the first move go through. It's going to be the Awkward Tail. You can go for 2 Media Beams most likely, which will do a lot of damage and actually go and put them into a farm down range. I guess your best play is to just let this Pokemon go down now. Try to farm down with your, let this move go through. Exactly, farm down with your Pokemon in the back there with your Lucario, and you will be able to go for 2 Shadow Balls straight away. And I think 2 Shadow Balls should be enough to win this final game here. And yeah, this will be enough. So you hopefully get there in time. You do just barely, which is good. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. I hope I gave you some tips as well about the stuff, like a lot of smaller misplays there that might also would help you if you don't do them to climb up higher than veteran. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.